Not gonna lie, I'm pretty damn excited for today's topic. Said it a million times by now, but fall is gonna be the season of the year. The lineup is self-explanatory, and when it comes down to what will be the anime of the year, the first thing that comes into my mind is the anime version of the Fortnite World Cup. Even with fall coming up, this year has been absolutely crazy for anime across every single season. The peaks just kept getting better and better, and for the first time in a few years now, it feels like there's a chance for anything on the board to become anime of the year. I know you all are probably thinking there's a clear winner, but when you really think about it, things may not be that simple. Let's rewind to the beginning of the year. Winter of Anime 2022 had three notable bangers that naturally had the anime community in a chokehold. First up, Attack on Titan came in with an absolutely crazy continuation of Eren's genocidal path. The amount of reveals in this arc were so jaw-dropping, it felt like Isayama was smoking something amazing back when he was writing it. Studio Mappa keeping that consistency with some insane action sequences and superb direction too, and left the season on a cliffhanger that almost made me pick up the manga. Right next to AOT, we had Demon Slayer's second season, which definitely had the better amount of traction weekly. The Red Light District was pure intense action with a climax that easily surpassed season 1's famous Hinokami Kagura episode. It was astounding how Studio Ufotable was able to keep up that quality, and it shows that the best practices and trust in a team of animators can go a very long way. The final fight of the season had everyone either screaming their asses off or on the edge of their seat hugging a pillow for dear life. Make no mistake though, this season came and delivered with a bang. Finally, we had Osama Ranking continuing its second half of the first season. This series felt like an honest passion project seasonal anime from Wit, giving us an emotional story of triumph from the Death Prince Boji, and it did it while tugging on your heartstrings every other week. Also, it gave us two OPs that made it onto the Spotify playlist. The only gripe I think people had was the conclusion with Daida, but for the rest of the series, it's one of the best this year. Heading into spring, there were two distinctive contestants for anime of the year. The first being one of the most anticipated series this year was Spy X Family. Regardless of how you feel about the show, it is undeniable that the series captured the anime community at large. Anya memes were everywhere, your cosplayers were putting Makima ones to shame, and DILF lovers were going absolutely nuts over Lloyd. With a consistent first core and a second one around the corner, it's safe to say that the momentum for the series will continue to go strong for as long as Wit and Cloverworks continue their steady partnership. In this same season, we also had Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. Telling you now, if this were to win anime of the year, I wouldn't even be upset. This season was the most passionate, awesomely animated, chaotic, and romantic shit you could have ever wanted. Not only did we have an ending that surpassed the famous Chica dance, but the season finale causing a unanimous chant from all the hopeless romantics around the world, with our main lovebirds finally getting together. Shirogane pulling out all the stops out for a big time confession that will put any of mine to shame, and sending off the season to what looks to be an upcoming movie. You best believe I'll be there day one USA release to see that thing in theaters too. Love is War is truly one of the golden anime of recent times because it's just so amazing how it maintains such comedic value in hand with its quality and execution. It's without a doubt earned a place as a nominee this year, and I hope to at least see it up there on the ballot. Now this summer, I can't say there is really anything noteworthy for anime of the year, but there are some things that deserve some serious recognition. Series like Summertime Rendering that's continuing from spring might make it into Best Mystery. There is also Aoashi and Licorice Recoil that really held the season down. Danmachi also has a shot of making it into the Best Fantasy category because this current season is really solid. Speaking of Best Fantasy, a word for the Mushoku Tensei fans. I realized last year a lot of you may feel cheated out of not winning anime of the year, but you really need to think about why. The show itself and the contents were fine in terms of the fantasy setting, but Rudis and his actions, especially towards the ladies of the show, not so much. I know what you're probably thinking, but Sensei, this series is all about how people can change, and these moments are just a part of that growth considering how he was in the previous life. Let me be clear and say that I'm all for people changing. However, there are plenty of ways to convey that message tastefully, and in this show, it's ups and downs with it. I personally are one of the people who straight-faced it and kept it moving, but a lot of people have voiced their distaste for the moments. Even if it's peak fiction, it would take a miracle for it to be accepted by a majority who already opposed the show because of Rudis. I'm just saying, do not expect it to win in 2023 with its next season if Rudis is still on his same shenanigans. Now lastly, we arrive at the upcoming fall season. As mentioned before, Spy X Family will have its second core, introducing the next member of the family and having a pretty action-packed mission that I'm sure people will enjoy in comparison to the lighthearted nature of the first half. Then we have Bleach's 1000-Year Blood War, which I'm looking to see if it'll raise my score for the series. With news of this upcoming arc being uncensored and anime additional scenes to flesh out these fights more, it's going to be very interesting to see how this holds up. My only concern, if anything, being that I've heard that this last arc is a good amount of chapters in the manga. I really hope that they do not try to pull a Black Clover and make it to where they have split cores so it gives them more time to produce. Otherwise, it will catch up to them and Twitter will find some way to tear it apart. I think Bleach will be anime of the year for Bleach fans in particular, but in the lineup amongst its peers, maybe not so much for anime of the year. Then we have Mob Psycho coming in with its last season. I'm gonna be pretty sad to see this one go. This show has been a combination of an emotional jerker and a visual spectacle. Yet again, Studio Bones has produced another passion project that globally has taken over, and it's gonna be fun to see how the story of Mob concludes. The newest opening is an absolute banger, easily making it a contestant for opening of the year as well. I believe Studio Bones will most likely go above and beyond to truly send this off as one of their greatest animes they have ever made. I want to go ahead and say that this is in the section of objectively one of the closest contestants for anime of the year. You really do not need to underestimate the grip this show has on the world, it's simply that good. Now for the elephant in the room, we have Chainsaw Man, which of course is the most anticipated anime this year. I'm gonna be frank and say that objectively, this might be anime of the year. It's not every day you see an anime picked up and brought about with such quality and investment from Studio Mappa. If the anime can live up to the hype and maintain the standard of quality it's set for itself, then this is going to take home the year easily. I wish every animator well and hope that the working conditions allow them to maintain not only a good anime, but their health as well. Lastly, we have the underdog this season with My Hero Academia's Paranormal Liberation War arc. Look, we all know how season 5 was rough. We have been through a slew of slander and all the negativity you can possibly imagine. The anime community, being the banger chasers they are, have made every possible meme against it for being in the fall lineup. However, it does not change the fact that the upcoming season's content is the pinnacle of the series' investment. An all-out war of heroes versus villains with society itself on the line is something I know the action lovers are gonna eat up. This year needs to be the year that the team working on MHA puts their foot down and goes beyond themselves. There is a lot of action, a lot of stakes, a lot of craziness in this one arc, and the aftermath is gonna be equally enjoyable. Regardless of how anyone feels, I want MHA to hang with the fall lineup. I think people need to keep in mind that MHA is a series that no matter what it does will be clowned upon and compared to its peers for trivial reasons, and yet the writing clearly shows it can stand fine on its own. Whatever it may come out to be, I'm looking forward to see Deku being pushed to his limits. Looking at all these anime together, it's gonna be a tough one no doubt to make a final decision. 2022 is a blessed year for anime and manga. It almost makes me want to say just forget about worrying about anime of the year and focus on the anime that made your year. There are plenty of shows that I didn't mention but I know could have made somebody's list for a favorite this year. One thing for sure though, there is a lot of conversation coming at the end of this year in regards to everything that's aired and beyond, and you can definitely bet I will be a part of it. That's pretty much it for me though. As always, thank you for watching and make sure to let me know what you think anime of the year is or what you have decided to make your anime of the year. Stay cool out there and I will catch you guys in the next video.